What's this Scooby-Doo? What's this Scooby-Doo?
What's new, Lazy Bards? I'm Josh Yarnell, and today I'll be running us through another little one-shot. Now, quick overview. This is not D&D, and we'll be using 6-sided dice to determine outcomes. Each player's attributes are fight, flight, investigate, and snack. And for a successful roll, you must roll at or above your printed score in that trait. Each player has different strengths, and even a special item or ability that very well may come into play. So, now it's time to introduce the gang.
Sup, I'm Ted. I'm pretty strong. You'll get to know me maybe as the muscle guy, and you can tell because my, my ascot on my shirt, again, a really original idea, it really shows off my muscles. My ascot does.
You should have had a bolo or something.
We'll just start over.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's good. Sup, I'm Ted. I'm the tough guy. You can tell by my bolo. It really... it's just a epitome of tough. You see a bolo, you're like, man, that guy's tough.
Hi, my name is Timberlyn Price, and today I will be playing Thelma. I am the smart one of the group. Mostly, I just go around snooping through people's things, looking for clues with my magnifying glass. That's really all there is about me. Mostly I'm just boring and quiet and just look around.
Hi, I'm Kyle Dell, and I'm going to be playing Doobie Dude, and he's like always hungry. He's just kind of one of the gang. Bark, I'm a dog.
My name's Sean Luke. I'm playing Dolph, the smart, tough, and hot and strong one.
Hello, my name is Dolph.
Find out if that's true. What is your guys' mystery-solving, crime-fighting name? What is your collective group name you guys call yourself? Everyone at one time, go ahead and shout out that group name. Ready? Now.
Mr. E Gang.
All right, and then what form of transportation do you guys drive?
The Enigma wagon.
That one.
Okay, great. The Enigma wagon.
It's got a fridge inside of it.
And you guys are the Mr. E Gang. Okay, so Mr. E Gang, you guys have been contacted by Toys Incorporated. And you were told to go to...
They've got the best toys.
They are one of the up-and-coming big name like producer suppliers. They almost have a monopoly on a lot of toy supplies.
Big name up-and-comers.
It's the only place I get my bolos.
You guys have been asked by the Toys Incorporated to go to the Whiz Factory and speak to Stinton Whizzledrix about the recent goings-on.
He's clearly a gnome. Swizzle sticks?
Stinson Swizzles Swagger.
Stinton Whizzledrix.
I wish that was
Swizzle
my
sticks.
character's name.
The owner of the Whiz Factory. Some of you might know a pretty crazy awesome inventor. Makes a lot of really nice children's toys. Comes up with these weird ideas. This super old gnome man that you've heard about, and you've been contacted by Toys Incorporated to ask him about the recent goings on in his facility. So, you guys all pile into the Enigma wagon, and after driving for a good portion of the day, you approach the factory at dusk. You see in large lettering above the entrance as you approach, Whizzledrix. It's not like a super large factory, but it's still pretty impressive. It's like a 2-story facility with a large garage door around back where you can see a truck currently being loaded, and the big, bold letterings above the facility, Whizzledrix.
I'm going to pull out a sandwich that I have in my pocket, and I'm going to start munching on my sandwich.
Nice. Just like a normal-sized jean pocket, too, I
Yeah.
imagine.
It's definitely sticking out past my shirt, but I covered it with my shirts to try to be
Are you
sly.
a dog?
Bark.
I don't know. Bark.
Bark. I'm like one of those sheep dogs where the hair like covers your eyes, so you can never tell like how bad my
eyes are open or
allergies are acting up.
Nice.
So I pull out a sandwich from my dog pocket, and I start just.
Nice. You guys are accustomed to this. He does this before every mystery case.
I've got plenty of sandwiches.
Okay, so while all of this is going on in the back seat, I'm up in the front seat with Dolph, and even though I can clearly see the big ass sign that says toys,
Whizzledrix.
Swizzle
the
sticks.
Whiz Factory, I'm gonna take out my magnifying glass and hold it up to my eye and be like, "Heavens to Betsy, I think we're here."
First mystery solved.
Where would you guys like to head? Straight in through the front door? Or do you want to do anything else before making your way inside?
I'm gonna go up to the door and knock.
Okay. You guys make your way up to the door, give a loud couple knocks on it, and after a brief moment, the door opens and a small gnomish woman steps out and says, "Well, hello there. What can I do for you guys?"
Hi, we're with Mr. E's gang.
He likes to go by group now. Gang had kind of a bad,
Oh, bad connotation.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're Mr. E's group.
Yep.
Yeah, I still haven't heard of you guys. You looking at toys? What do you...
Stinson Whizzledrix, just let him know we're here and we'll talk to him.
We have a meeting.
Oh, yeah, I can get Mr. Stinton. Who should I say is here?
The Mr.
E group.
Group, that one.
We like
The Mr. E
solve
group is here for the
mysteries.
mystery.
Solved mysteries.
Bark.
Mystery solvers. Well, we had cops in here earlier, and they were, oh man, they were just looking at everything, and then there was like this cleanup.
Did
and
you
then
say
now,
there was cops?
Yeah. I mean earlier, but then
I put my
now
sandwich
you
away.
guys.
Think of us
In
as
my
super
dog
cops.
pocket.
That must mean that you guys are here to look at the murder, right?
Yes.
Is that? No one told me someone died.
Wait, yeah, you guys, were we aware that there was a murder that occurred here?
I'm pretty sure it was told to us, and then what was your name again?
Ted.
I always
I'm
refer to him
Ted.
as our driver. Our driver was just like, look at my bolo.
I was
So-
just in the back seat.
Yeah,
It's
I was
okay.
sitting right
Continuity's
next to
not
you
an
and
issue.
you were
Doesn't matter.
driving.
Not true. I don't drive my own
It
vehicles.
drives itself. That is the enigma.
I think that sandwich is kind of getting
the
into the
drive?
air
That
in the
is
car.
the enigma.
Okay, so when you guys are kind of talking about it, she goes, "Well, okay. I mean, keep your voices down a little bit. I mean, not everybody knows, but I figured you guys did already. I'll get Stinton for you guys.
Who
Okay,
else is here?
Who's Stinton?
come inside and I'll get him." And then as you guys walk into the Whiz Factory, you see it's not a large place, but a pretty good size workspace in this open area of this factory. There's 12 sanctioned rooms for different activities. One for pottery, coloring, drawing, sculpting, sanding. There's all these different stations, and it's one of those rooms where the walls go up, about 8 feet high, and then the ceiling goes much higher. So it's really just dividers of rooms, but it's this huge open space. And then as you walk in, you can see there are a few other figures walking around working on projects. Everyone in here seems to be gnome, really small, kind of keeping their head down, and the mood seems to be rather solemn. And then as the gnomish woman leads you guys inside, you can also see on the side there's this little chalkboard, and above it says riddle of the day, and then there's a riddle underneath it and a whole bunch of answers in gnomish and this tiny little opaque black box. She just calls up and she goes, "Well, Mr. Whizzledrix, you have company." And then you see this old, really, really old gnome. You don't know how old gnomes live for, but he must be 200-300 years old, super gray, super old, decrepit. And you see him in the loft area kind of peek his head out through a door, and then he shuts the door and makes his way downstairs slowly, really slow, giving you guys weirdly enough time to solve a riddle. So looking over the riddle board, you see, and I'm going to give you guys 1 minute to solve this riddle once I read it to you.
Are all your workers gnomes?
Yeah, we are all gnomes. Mr. Whizzledrix is a gnome. He loves hiring from the gnome family. Well, we do actually. We have one guy that hangs around here that's not. The driver that drives the delivery trucks. He's human, I think.
Case solved. Done.
What's his name?
Have you tried to pull off his head?
No, never tried. But
Step one.
His name's Bill. Bill. You'll find him in the back. Maybe loading up the truck at the end of the day. Well, it is the end of the day, but You might find him there before he leaves.
We're about to ruin his plans.
I take out my notebook and I write down, Bill, suspect number 1.
Okay. So, reading over this chalkboard says riddle of the day, and underneath it, it says, what tastes better than it smells?
Oh, man.
You have 1 minute.
Brussels sprouts. I write it on the chalkboard.
You write it along a bunch of other gnomish gnomish words, and nothing seems to happen.
I got it.
How many sandwiches have I had first?
Up to you.
I write bark on the whiteboard.
Okay, you write bark along a bunch of other answers on the chalkboard.
You know, I'm not so good with the riddles. I mostly am smart when it comes to real world problems.
This is
I've
a
got
real
nothing,
world
guys.
problem. Who else is going to solve it?
So are we just watching this old guy come down the
Yeah,
steps?
he's like, okay, not too fast now. I'm gonna make my way downstairs. Left foot follows the right, and okay, going around. Hey, Kevin, okay, looking good over there. And he's like making his way over to you guys.
Dolph's just gonna be chewing gum, like looking at him with like shocked, like wow, it's taking, like almost impressed.
We all look at our watches we're not wearing.
Oh my god, this guy's still walking to us.
I'm going to put next to bark in parentheses everything.
Okay.
Bark.
Well, Mr. Whistledrix finally approaches it this time. He goes, okay, well, and that was 5 minutes of no riddle guessing. And we'll see if we come around to that later, but I'm not going to tell you now. So Mr. Whistledrix walks up, and that was like a really, really simple riddle, guys. Good thing there's not a lot of those in here, huh? So Stinton walks up. He sees you all gathered around this chalkboard, and he goes, well, that's quite a tough one, huh? No one's managed to get it yet. And he kind of, gives himself like a little like lick across his thumb of accomplishment. He looks at you guys and says, well, I'm Mr. Whistledrix. Stinton, please. To whom do I owe the pleasure?
Ted,
Oh, Ted.
this is...
Thelma,
Doobie-doo. Bark.
We're with the Mr. E group.
Okay, and why, might I ask why you guys have come here?
I think we're the ones that are going to ask some
To
questions.
solve a Mr. E.
Oh, I get it. Oh, I like it. I thought you'd be good at riddles, my friend. Okay, well,
I already answered it.
solving mysteries. Well, I think that there is quite a mystery here, if I do say so myself.
I hear there's a murder.
Yeah, you don't keep that down a little bit.
I hear there's a murder.
That's better. I like that volume more. Yeah, so one of our longtime employees, kind of like, I like to think of him as my right-hand man, but Keith actually, yeah, he was squished in the warehouse today.
Keith was squished in a warehouse today.
Was it like an accident?
Yeah, he was crushed under like a pile of shipments, but the darnest thing, you guys, there were like footprints leading away. So now, yeah, I'm no mystery solver, but it's got to be a mystery there.
How many people's hair have you pulled on real hard?
Oh, well, only the scruff of my chin when I'm thinking real hard.
Step one. Wait, we already had step one. Step two.
I mean, maybe you should lead us to these footprints.
Yeah, I could do that. I'll give you guys a quick tour, and then
First, did you see our answers on your riddle board?
I assume that none of them were correct, as the riddle's still there and there are still a bunch of answers. You see, I designed this myself. I'm quite the inventor. Once the right answer is written on the board, all other answers are washed away and you get your prize.
Oh, no, but see, I answered it right and nothing happened.
I answered it left.
What are some of the other answers on there?
Well, that person said, what tastes better than they smells? They put their dog. Oh, that's weird. That wouldn't make sense. Someone said their face. I mean, I guess that's getting a little closer, but I don't know. That's strange.
So it's like an objective thing.
I don't think so, but if you guys get it, there's a pretty tasty snack as a reward.
Okay, we should totally solve this mystery then, guys. What is the bark?
Jinkies, I think I've got it.
Go ahead. If you think you have, just go ahead and write your little answer on them before we give our little tour.
Every time he licks eye contact with me, I realize and I stop talking and I just go bark. When he looks away, I'll talk normal, but he looks over at me, bark.
No one seems to be paying any mind to the occasional English comment coming out of the dog's mouth. You know what snack is behind that opaque door. It is a sane snack. One of your very tasty, just amazing snacks that you especially love to just grub down on.
Oh, you guys smell that?
No.
No.
I don't.
I straightened my bolo.
What would your guess be, Thelma?
That's a unmistakably sane snack.
I grab one of the slips of paper and I write tongue on it and I stick it on the board.
You write it, and as soon as you're finished, you see in like a big swirling mess of chalk, everything disappears, and the one remaining answer is tongue left on the board, and a tiny little door opens, revealing a little bag of snacks.
I rush
Yahoo!
in.
Wait, Thelma, can I smell your tongue?
I'd really prefer you to not.
Stinton lights up. He goes, "Oh, you've solved it with little to no help at all."
I'm gonna run into this bag. You said it was a bag of sane snacks?
Yes, it is a bag of snacks. You guys know that sane snacks, when you eat them, they make you feel a little good. They kind of bring you back down to reality a little bit. So,
I'm going to swipe him away from Scooby-Doo before he can get to the bag, and I'm going to tap him on the nose with my finger and say, no, not yet. You have to earn these.
Are those snacks soy-free, gluten-free, cruelty-free, organic?
Let's ask Mr. Stinton that question.
they're sure not. Otherwise, they wouldn't be tasty. Well, let's resume the tour.
Can't eat them anyways.
And you see, as he starts to walk you past the workspaces, a lot of the other gnomes are kind of like packing up. They're putting some of their projects, they're covering their projects. They're putting stuff in their bag, and it looks like they're getting ready to leave for the day. Stinton walks you past the workspaces. He kind of points up at the loft. He says, well, my office is up there. It's the only one up there. And then there's a door to the warehouse. And if we just go right down this way, down this hallway, we'll see, well, there's the bathroom there. It's just, we're kind of progressive, and we just got the one. And then we have over on this side, we have the staff room and the locker room. And then we'll just keep on straight moving on, and then we'll go down here to the warehouse. And as he's doing this, you guys have like slowly like followed his pace behind him, as he's like the oldest gnome you've ever seen.
I'm gonna pull out my magnifying glass and just walk on ahead of him, just completely not even paying attention to what he's saying, 'cause
Sure.
I'm so in the clue finding zone.
Yeah, you're on the hunt already, as he's kind of leading you guys around.
Well, Mr. Stanton, do you mind if I talk to Kevin here real quick?
Sure. Yeah, you want to stop, or do you want me to just finish, and then we'll come right back around?
I think I can catch up.
Okay, sure. Yeah. You run off back to the workspaces as they continue. Stinton leads you guys into the back loading shipment area of this in this warehouse. You see two big piles of like packing materials. You see a bunch of packing shipping boxes, walls of materials, lots of toys, and right in the center, it looks like nice packed shipments, and they're all decorated with this new big branding material called the Attackers. There's symbols of like these really like pompous looking like elves, and then some like really grubby looking orcs.
Hey, Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
I think we should just start interrogating people. Do you want to be good cop or bad cop?
A good cop. Good bark cop. Bark cop.
Okay, well, that's the warehouse. We'll make our way right back around, and we'll just head on right through. And then Ted went to go find Kevin. Mm-hmm. Sure, yeah. You see Kevin, he's kind of like, he just put a cloth over like this nice little toy boat that he just got finished sanding, and he's like packing away some of his supplies.
Kevin, was it?
Kevin's my name. Don't wear it out.
Kevin, my name's Ted.
Well, it's nice to meet you, friend.
Nice to meet you too, Kevin. Kevin, I'm just curious. What do you know about the squishing here?
You're talking about Keith. Well, I was the one that found him.
Kevin, you found him?
Yeah, well, I came in early, and I was trying to like open up the store before anyone got here, and I went in the back, and there was this huge mess, this huge pile of blood on the ground, and these like large footprints walking away from it. And I went outside, and I waited for Mr. Wizzlejix to come, and then we contacted authorities.
Well, Kevin, if I could ask you, how big were these footprints? Were they Billy-sized?
Billy-sized? He kind of looks up at his foot, and he looks down at your guys' feet, and he goes, oh, well, I guess they're much larger than mine, maybe larger than Billy's. I don't know. Maybe your guys' foot size are larger. They're pretty big.
This is my last question, Kevin. Do you mind if I give your hair a nice tug?
Well, you wouldn't be the first one today. Go ahead, friend.
All right. I grab onto this hair.
Sure.
And I just give a good
You kind of
tug,
like pick
good
him up
firm
off the ground. He goes,
tug.
oh, not too hard. Okay.
Wow. I'm way stronger than I thought. Well, Kevin, it was nice to meet you.
Can I grab your hair too?
Sure, Kevin, you
Oh,
can.
yay. This is my third one today. And he kind of goes ahead and grabs a hold of your hair. And does anything happen as he kind of moves it around?
No, he probably has a hard time because I have a shaved head.
Well, I'm not really getting the grip that I, Anyway, that was nice.
Yeah, it was for me too, Kevin. Have a nice day, Kevin. It was nice to meet you, Kevin.
Well, thanks, you too, Ted. And then he kind of like picks up his bag, and then him and a couple other gnomes begin to like head out the door, like towards the front door. As your tour has concluded, and Stinton kind of starts walking you back into the workspaces, and he goes, and then I bet you didn't know that we were gonna come back around, but here we are, back in the little workstations, and oh, there's your friend.
Yeah, I met Kevin. He's a good guy.
He goes, well, yeah, you know, all my employees here, they're just the best people.
But who's the worst? Like, if you had to pick one, who's the worst one? You don't like
Oh,
him that much.
The worst.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't
he's the
know.
one that doesn't share any of their snacks, man.
Well, you know, Millie's she has like the worst handwriting on the chalkboard, and Keith's kind of a slob. He did leave a lot of his stuff around in the lockers, and I don't know, guys.
So would you say that you're glad Keith is dead?
Oh, heavens no. He handled so much around here.
Mr. Whistledrix, do you mind if I asked maybe something that might seem a little intrusive?
Please do.
Do you mind if I just give your hair a nice tug?
Well, okay, I mean, sure. Kevin and I do this sometimes in the morning when we're the only ones here, but if you want to go ahead.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And
Sure.
I give his hair a little tug.
Ooh, oh, okay. That was nice.
That was fun. He checks out. Let's go find this Billy.
As the gnomes begin to make their way out of the factory for the evening, a lot of them with their belongings, Stinton goes ahead and tells you, well, I guess nothing worse can happen than what's already been going on, so I'll leave the place unlocked, and you guys can just look around at your leisure if that works for you guys.
Mr. Stinton, things can always get worse. People could come in here and get squished, but I appreciate it because that's how we're going to proceed with this investigation.
You sound like quite the mystery solver.
We are.
Well, okay, if you want to catch Bill before he locks up the truck, I might go get him now as we're all going to leave for the night.
All right.
So we're just gonna confront this guy and say you did it right, and then catch him really quick. Cause
I think just a good hair tug always tells
Because I'm getting
everything you
hungry,
know
and
about a
nothing here
person.
is gluten free or organic.
Are we good cop, bad copping it, aren't we?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. I'm ready.
And then if it doesn't work, Ted can just sneak behind him and pull his hair.
You got that, Ted? Yeah, I got it.
All right. You guys make your way back into the packing shipping facility and see Bill kind of closing up their van full of a bunch of packages for the night. Looks like you just got finished up. And then as you guys are kind of walking up to Thelma, you see with your astute eyes and magnifying glass, you see underneath the center pile of like soon to be sent out shipments that are all kind of nice and organized in the center of this room, there are some like old blood stains that look like they're cleaned away, but there might have been so much that there's some left. And then you do see a couple outlines of boot prints.
Hello, Bill.
Who? Oh, hey there.
Are we doing?
That's me, Bill.
We doing this?
So, what are you doing?
Well, I just finished.
Why'd you kill that guy?
kill?
Everyone
what?
says you did it. You're basically fired already.
We're
Who
looking.
said
We're looking
I
for
never?
one thing here, man. And where's the kitchen?
Oh well, I mean,
No,
we have a
Bark,
no.
lounge.
We're
I
not
keep
looking for
my
the kitchen?
snacks in the
No.
lounge.
You know what? You take the lead.
Bill, don't listen to them. Come
I
on.
give Bill eyes
Great.
like, I know
You and I
can.
both know that you're a nice guy.
Oh, thanks.
So, just
A
for
murderer.
the heck of it,
Nice guy.
you know, let us know what you were up to at the time of the murder.
We just want to know why you did
The
it.
time of the murder. I didn't do it. Look, okay, I got here today like I always do. The truck's packed from the night before. I take it out. I do my rounds. I come back. I load the truck for the next day.
Rounds of killing Keith?
I rip out a flashlight I have in my dog pocket
Oh,
and get up in
geez.
his face and I say, likely story.
Yeah, you want to check my drop-offs? I have a list of every place I went to today.
Actually, no. I just kind of want to tug on your hair. Do you mind?
Geez, everyone's in the tugging mood today, aren't they?
Who else is in
I
the
don't know
tugging
who else
mood?
you've been talking to.
Well, we all like to give each other a nice tug once a day.
Yeah,
So
I'm always in a
Don't
good
we
tugging
all?
mood. Do you mind if I give you a little tug?
Wink.
sure. Favorite way to end the day.
All right, I give Bill a little tug.
Ooh, not too hard. Okay.
Was it good for you?
I've had better, but I'm not here to complain.
All right, it wasn't him.
I'm talking like a gnome. He's a human, so I'm gonna talk with a little more cadence in my voice.
Bill, remind me again what time you'd say you got back to the warehouse this morning to find Keith's body dead in blood with footsteps leading away?
Well, yeah, when I got in today and I came back here, I saw Kevin and Mr. Whistledrix kind of moving some boxes around, and I did see the body on the floor, and just in time for, some authorities to show up and, clean the place up and ask some questions. And I don't know if they found what they were looking for, but I guess you guys are here, so man, this is a crazy day.
I would like to sniff his boots.
Sure. Make a snack check for me,
I rolled a 1.
which is a failure, correct?
Yeah, my snack is 2.
You're kind of sniffing around and sniffing underneath his boot. There doesn't seem to be any blood on or around his boots, legs, or anything. But what keeps drawing your attention is that dang bag of sane snacks in Thelma's pocket that you didn't get earlier. Your nose keeps drawing back to it. Okay, well, if that's it, then I'm gonna, head home, make dinner.
You know who's not going to make dinner tonight?
Well, I have an idea.
Kevin.
Keith.
Us. Oh,
Yeah, no.
Sad to hear about that guy. He was pretty instrumental in helping Mr. Whistledrix, prepare the factory for selling for this whole merger thing. He's been great.
Well, if you wouldn't
Whole
mind,
merger.
we'd love to join you for dinner to talk about this whole merger thing. If you wouldn't mind having us for dinner.
The funniest thing is I only have 4 plates at home that we wash every night when we're done with dinner, and there's
that's okay. He
more
brings
than
one.
you
okay.
guys.
I
He
don't-
carries one with him.
I don't even need a plate. I bark.
Look,
Bill, what else did you know about Keith?
Well, I mean, like I was saying, he was pretty instrumental in helping Whistledrix find a seller for the factory. He's getting old, and we're looking to really increase production. So I guess it's a good thing. I kind of like the way things were around here, and all the little gnomes. They're funny, but it seemed like a good thing for the factory.
Thanks for your time.
how long has Mr. Whistledrix been the owner here?
Mr. Swizzlesticks has been in business for years, man. They make the best toy. How do you not know about this?
He started this factory when it was just a really small thing, and they add room after room, and eventually his office, and he started employing more and more people. And when there was enough shipments to drive around, they needed a driver, and I joined. I've been here 5-10 years, and Mr. Whistledrix a lot longer than that. It's sad to see an old gnome go.
That's exactly the same business method I've been telling you guys about expanding Mystery Group.
So who is he merging with?
By Toys Incorporated. They're taking over the Wiz factory, and they've even been working on our new line of toys. Our huge line of success was the Defenders. They were a line of elves that they fought the evil orcs, and they became real popular. And the more people wanted them, I guess it got attention of Toys Incorporated, and they sure wanted them. But it was a pretty successful line of toys, I must say. A lot of shipments went out.
Okay, so if you didn't kill him, who did?
Man, I don't know. I thought that, he's a tiny gnome. He's moving big boxes. I thought he just got crushed.
Was he really good at his job?
He was quite the little toy maker. And yeah, that merger is, they're going to make a lot of money, those two, selling this factory.
Wait a second. If he was a toy maker, what was he doing in the warehouse moving boxes?
Good question, I suppose. Maybe he was finishing up some, bringing them here, getting ready to ship. Yeah, I mean, usually there's a pile here for every day. I just kind of move it from the pile into the truck.
Yeah, we got it, Bill. You don't do a lot.
So him and Mr. Whistledrix were merging the factory together.
Yeah, I'd say he's
The
probably
aforementioned deceased.
Yep.
I look at Ted and I'm like, case closed, and give him a case closed nod.
Just gotta pull on his hair a little harder.
Harder. We'll do good cop, bad cop, and worst cop.
I'll be pole cop. Cause I'm gonna pull on his hair.
I thought for some reason you were going with the Paul Blart reference somehow. I don't know why.
Well, if you guys don't mind, I'm gonna head off home, see the missus.
Yeah, we should all get going. I don't want to be late for dinner.
Doobie-doo, Let's head over to the scene of the murder and see if there's anything we can deduce over there. If you do a good job, I'll give you a snack.
I'll do it because there's snacks.
It's your hips.
Wait, so I got a real one last question for you, Bobby.
Okay, yeah, I was turned around, but I'll. What you need?
How do you feel about the attackers? Bark.
I kind of like the name The Defenders, you know. It made their story that much better. And now that they're the attackers, you know, it's like it applies this, like, I don't know, real rough
Like
and
someone
tumble.
got attacked and killed, and that someone was named Kevin.
Keith.
Keith.
Kevin was a great guy. I really enjoyed Kevin and
Kevin
meeting
was
Kevin.
a good guy.
He gives a nice tug. I mean, not gonna lie about Kevin.
Kevin gave me a pretty mediocre tug.
Something doesn't smell right here.
We're outside the factory.
There's like a big garage roll-up door, but you're inside that area.
Is the main dumpster around? I want to go look at it.
Okay.
Ted, come open this up for me.
Yeah.
You walk over and you see it's like this pretty grimy looking dumpster. You probably wouldn't want to put your hands on it. And then you go ahead and instruct your friends to do so.
I'll put my hands on it.
Give it a nice tug.
All I see is wood, some sawdust, used up sandpaper, some old paints.
Wait a minute.
What color is that paint?
Various colors. Various like old tubes of
Various
like
colors.
acrylic paint, old cans.
Some acrylic, some old cans.
Any red paint?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Totally.
Is Bill still here?
No.
Yeah, he's like been trying
Yeah.
to wedge his way out of the conversation to leave for the night, but he keeps being stopped.
Bill, who is in charge of waste disposal in this company? Because wood shavings should be in compost, and you're actually not allowed to dispose of paint cans in the dumpster.
That's true.
Can't be me. Otherwise, you guys would be mad at me, so I wasn't the one that did it.
All right, get out of the garbage can. You look ridiculous.
How far away was the blood?
I'm having a good
The
time.
scene of the crime?
It was like the center of that
Is
packing
it far away
facility.
from where we currently are?
No.
Can I go over to it and sniff the blood?
Yeah, so you go over and make an investigate roll.
Success.
Success. Okay. You go up and you're using your real good sniffer and you're kind of looking around. You definitely see where the blood was wiped away but not gone. And a lot of all the packages here, some of them are like a little bit of like blood soaked like into the cardboard. And then you can see, yeah, they're labeled with the new, like totally decorated with the new Attackers logo around it. And then kind of sitting on top, you kind of just move a little some of the boxes around. There's like this really decorative like orc chieftain like head, like sitting like in the middle of kind of these boxes.
Does it smell like blood? Is what I initially wanted to get from that.
You smell faint traces of blood, but also oil and like gear fluid and grease smell. You're picking up kind of a lot in this area right here.
Let's split up, gang.
Yeah,
Group.
It's the only way to do it.
All right, I'm going to go to Whistledrick's office.
I'll go with you to Whistledrick's office because I think you might be onto something. He definitely has a motive.
Doobie doobie doo, it's me and you.
Okay. We're going to go to the kitchen.
Yeah, all right.
All right. So you guys kind of make your way down the hallway back towards the workspaces. Ted and Scooby-Doo, you head off into the staff lounge area with the lockers, as where that's your nose has been leading you the most. It seems that that's where most of the food would be prepared. And then as you guys walk in there, Dolph and Thelma, you two continue on past and then up the staircase into the loft to go to Stinton's office. So while you guys are making your way up there, Ted and Scooby-Doo, you guys see a pretty boring looking lounge space. I mean, there's tables to eat food, and you can see at the end of the day, it's kind of messy. There's crumbs, there's old wrappers and stuff. Plenty of seating, rather short chairs as they're all gnomes. And then a wall of lockers and like some coat racks and like a mirror. It just looks like a lounge staff locker room area.
I'm grabbing the plate that has the most food on it, and then I'm going around to the other plates and piling on the other food on top of this plate.
Sure,
And just making a nice...
You find like someone left like the crust of their sandwich, and then you kind of just grab together little bits of snacks and chips that you find, and
It's a good post-sandwich snack.
I'm gonna
Nice.
sit down on like the break room couch.
okay.
Zoinks, Doobie. I've pulled on so many people's hair today, and we found nothing. Exactly. I think we've done all we can here. We should tell the others after we finish this food.
In one gulp. Take the plate.
Yeah. As you finish stuffing the rest of the food in your mouth and you put your hand down, you also see in the corner of this room, it looks like there's like this crane game machine, and you can see like a bunch of little things with like wrappers. It looks like there's a bunch of like candy and maybe even snacks like inside this crane game in the corner of this room, like next to all the lockers.
I'll walk up and pull some change out of my pocket. Doobie, we gotta win. Put some money in the machine.
Sure. Yeah, you put a couple coins in, it lights up, and you see the little joystick kind of like light up around it, and the claw begins to move. Do you have a certain prize that you'd like to go for? Do you want some candy? As you're kind of looking around, you do see one pretty pristine pack of Sane snacks.
Wait, which one should I go for?
There's Sane snacks, dude.
All right, Zoinks, that sounds great. I go for the Sane snacks.
All right, so go ahead and roll me. You're gonna need 3 different rolls. They will be a success for your up, down, your left, right position, or your forward, backward, your left, right, and then your down drop. With the claw.
Can I assist him by going to the left or right side of the machine to tell him for depths?
Yeah, okay. So tag teaming this together, I'll give you advantage on your rolls, but I'll need 3d6 rolls. All above 3 is your target.
First one is 5.
With Doobie-Doo's help, you kind of line it up, and he gives you a approving nod.
We're doing left, right now, okay? Get behind it. We'll pull it away from the wall.
Nice, yeah, you pull it like to the maximum reach that the cord allows.
In front of it, dude.
Yeah, twice the 4.
Nice, okay, you feel pretty confident about the way you've lined that up too. Time to hit the button.
All right, now the part I can't control. I press the button.
I'm like pressed right against the glass.
It grabs, and the breath of Doobie-Doo pressing against the glass is starting to like fog it up, and through that fog you see as the claw releases into the catcher the bag of Sane snacks, and it kind of spits out at the little dispenser at the bottom.
I reach in, grab out our Sane snacks. We got them.
Mystery solved, man.
Mystery solved.
Should we meet back with the others?
I crack them open and we start eating.
Sure. So you start eating your bag of Sane snacks right there. Totally fine.
I put some in another sandwich that I have out of my dog pocket, and just like chips in a sandwich.
Nice. Is there anything else you guys want to do in this room?
No.
Dolph and Thelma, you two make your way up to the lofted area and see Stinton Wizzledrix's office. It says Mr. Wiz on the front door on the plaque, and you can see the door is closed, and it appears to have, instead of a doorknob, you see 3 latches on this door. You are here in front of his office.
All right, pick it, Thelma.
Okay, so I'm going to take off my glasses, and one of the little pieces that would rest on my ear has a lock-picking device on it. So I'm just going to go ahead and pick all 3 of those locks.
Looking at them, actually, it doesn't appear that there's any like keyhole. You can try to maybe slide something in like the crack of the door, but just looking at it, it's just 3 latches that, left, right, they're all kind of turned left towards the closed position.
Hold on, I got like 12 credit cards. Stand by. Ooh, let's use this one. I like this one's color. It's red.
Okay. I'm going to say make a flight roll. One or both of you can try a flight roll to try and get your card in there and open up this door.
We have to beat it, right?
Beat your flight.
I beat it by 1.
I did not.
Thelma, you kind of stick your card in there and you kind of get it jammed a little bit, and Dolph comes over and he kind of swipes it through under one, and you see his after kind of managing to get through one of the locks, one of those deadbolts kind of like switch over and unlatch, and the other 2 are still in the locked position.
Well, 1 down, 2 to go.
Let a pro do this.
You go and you get the second one done, and as soon as you unlock the second latch, the first latch resets.
God, one of these things.
Oh, man. Is there any other way into the office that we can tell?
Make an investigate roll.
Okay. I got a 1.
So you don't see any other doors. There is a window, and you can break in a window if you'd like to, but no, it seems that this door in front of you is the way in and out of his office.
Let's try them all at once, and if it doesn't work, we'll just have Ted break it down.
Okay, sounds good.
Totally. You each put a hand on the lock. You turn them at the same time. The door unlocks, and it begins to swing open.
Works every time. Every time I come to a 3-latch door, that's the trick. I open the door and I'm like, in a minute! Assuming that Wizzledrix is in there.
You walk in and you see as you yell that, you kind of like startle a little like mouse or like a rat, and it kind of like runs in like this like corner of the wall and like begins to like scurry into the wall of this room. But other than that, the room was completely empty.
I'm going to immediately go over to where that mouse ran and try to find if there's like a hidden tunnel. Secret tunnel.
You walk over there and it's pretty easy to see. There's like this chewed up part of the wall that allows for like this small tiny passage into like the hollow inside of the wall of this building.
Can I just start going through his desk? I'm not going to be nice about it. I'm just going to like...
Yeah, so his desk is pretty messy, and as you guys walk in, you see it's a pretty boring office except for the numerous pictures and blueprints of his drawings and inventions on the wall, and like the old beginnings of like what this warehouse, this factory used to be. It looks like he's pretty proud of his work, and there's one of like the original first drafts of like the Defenders line on the wall too. Walking over to his desk, you see it's really messy and there's quite a few drawers, but on top in this like clutter, you see a few opened files that catch your eye. Those being of employee records, one being of Keith's record, and then you also see next to that like a ripped open envelope with like a folded up letter.
Dibs on the letter.
Yeah, dibs on Keith because I want to know some gossip.
You're looking through Keith's file and not much of importance you see besides that name, date, address. There's like all his information there, work schedule and employee reviews and everything. Like just his whole personal file seems to be there and would be, was being looked at for some reason. And then on the note, Thelma, as you pick it up, you look, it is addressed from Toys Incorporated to Stinton Wizzledrix. And it says, Mr. Wizzledrix, in order to bring the building up to proper Toys Inc. code, we will be pulling out some of our investment money. You should expect a 30% decrease. In good news, however, we have successfully gathered the rights to change the name from Defenders to Attackers in our next line of advertisements. Wishing you all the best. Pleasure doing business with you.
Blimey.
Okay, yeah, I'll go through his drawers.
Sure. You open up kind of the top drawer. It looks like there seem to be a lot of employee records, and then you go to the next one, and it looks like you stumbled upon like his snack drawer. There's a lot of like ripped open candy packages, and it looks like this is where he eats, he munches, he draws, and then you do see as you kind of sift around, there's a pack of Sane snacks in there, unopened.
I look at Thelma, I'm like, I'm going to take these to bribe them later, and I pocket some of the Sane snacks.
All right.
What does he draw? Does he have any cool drawings?
Lots of drawings of new action figures, of new moving devices, like, the elbows or new joints being added. You see a couple other pretty impressive drawings in here. Why don't you or the two of you make an investigate roll?
Oh, my investigate's not that bad.
I got a 3 and all I needed was a 2.
Mine met.
Met. Okay, so both of you kind of together, looking around as practiced mystery solvers, and Thelma using your magnifying glass, you find new drawings of weird kind of mechanics that you haven't seen before. It looks like these drawings are for a much larger scale toy, something, and you see like gears and workings and really drawn out measurements of like specific sprockets and stuff, and blueprints for something that might be larger than your average toy.
I know what's going on here. We have a small soldier situation. He created a big toy, called it Attackers, and obviously put a military grade chip into its brain. And he purposely set the aggression to 200%, and it just happened to kill Keith. Case closed. I want to go home.
I'm not so sure of that, Dolph. I'm sort of thinking that Mr. W was having second thoughts about selling his business to Toys Inc., especially with the 30% decrease and all that I learned about in the letter. So I think that he purposefully murdered Keith and made it look like an accident so that the warehouse would seem unsafe and Toys Inc. would no longer want to do business with him, therefore leaving Mr. W rightful ownership to his business.
I'm
Case
pretty
closed.
sure the
Pretty good
small
theory.
soldiers is way more realistic, and I'm pretty sure that Ted and Doobie Dude would definitely agree with
Blimey.
me. And if they don't, I have snacks that will make them agree with me. And then I just yell like the girl from Austin Powers. I'm like, Ted, Doobie Doo!
You guys hear this like muffled voice coming from the loft, and as you guys look and begin to leave this kind of office area, the door seemed to have silently shut and appears to be just closed behind you. And on the back of it, there's like this full-length mirror.
It's like a giant military grade ran toy just shut the door.
I'm gonna go over and try to open up the door, and while I'm opening up the door, which I'm assuming isn't just gonna open, I'm gonna look into that mirror because it seems like that's significant for some reason.
Weird. So as you go over and you pull on the door, it doesn't open. And then peering into the mirror,
It seems significant.
it seems significant. I got a major.
Blimey, imagine that, Mike.
I got a major kung pao, like, and he told him of its significance. It was significant. That's great. So yeah, peeking inside the mirror, you see, just the room reflected back. Although there is one image in the mirror that, when you turn around and look, it doesn't appear to be there.
It's Kirsten Dunst.
That of a familiar colored Whizzle cube doesn't seem to be behind you when you look, but it's in the mirror.
I'm gonna reach my hand and tap on the Whizzle cube in the mirror, and if that doesn't work, then I'm gonna turn around and go to where it is showing up in the reflection.
You place your hand on the mirror and it appears solid. There's no change. You don't feel anything. You go to the room and you see on kind of this really small pedestal where the reflection shows the Whizzle cube to be, there's nothing.
I'm gonna reach my hand out and put it on the table because maybe it's invisible. or
You don't
something.
feel anything as you place your hand down.
Crunch, crunch. I think they're yelling about something. Maybe they have more snacks.
This sandwich has got me so full.
Me and Doobie Doo.
Dude,
Me
Doobie-Doo, get it
and
right.
Doobie Dude walk up the stairs at this point.
Sure. You guys make your way up to a door with 3 latches on it, and then you see behind like a pretty old, foggy-looking window, you see your friends kind of peeking inside this mirror, looking confused.
Oh man, there's so many locks on this door.
Blimey, are you guys stuck? Do you need help undoing all those locks?
We figured out what's happening.
Can we hear each other?
Yeah, it's like kind of muffled. It's like some crazy industrial door thing.
We're pretty sure there's like a huge toy out there that might kill you guys, right? And I start crinkling the snacks so they know I have snacks.
Are you guys opening the door from the inside or the outside? Are you guys gonna do it?
I'm looking backwards now, afraid there's a toy that's about to get us, and I'm looking for a doorknob frantically, and then I'm eventually pounding on the door.
I'm gonna start undoing the latches.
Sure. You undo the first latch. You go to undo the second latch. The first latch resets.
I get real paranoid when I'm full.
You're sitting over there paranoid. You're sitting here looking at latches. You guys are in the room looking around, and you do see, there's a Whizzle cube in the room, but
I'm gonna walk over to where the Whizzle cube is, and I'm gonna pick it up, and I'm gonna place it where it should be according to the reflection in the mirror.
As I say the magic word, Tommy Lee Jones.
and the door opens pretty much right at the same time that Ted switched over that first lock.
All right, group, where should we head to next?
Where would I be if I was a missile-enhanced toy?
I'm not really sure what you guys are talking about, but there's nothing in the kitchen.
Yeah, we cleaned it out.
Great work.
Did
Thanks.
you solve this Whizzle cube?
I'm not used to you saying that. Thank you.
Just to play devil's advocate here, how could
Get the chills when you say that.
a giant robot
Who said robot?
be...
What's a
Wait,
robot?
what is it?
A giant toy that has military-grade
Sounds like a
chips
robot.
in
Sounds
its
pretty
brain.
robotic to me.
No, it's an action figure,
What's
actually.
Hold on.
You
How
guys-
hard on the setting are we?
An action figure, a giant action figure, there's no way that could be the murderer because
Wait,
how the heck?
a giant action figure's the murderer?
I don't know. I know.
No.
I've
How
seen
big is
magic
giant?
before, haven't
Is
you?
it giant like in relation to a regular action figure? Is it giant in relation to us as well, I'm not a people, but
Did we ever find out what the cause of death was for poor
Squishing.
Keith? So he was squished
you know
by
what
something?
squishes giant toy action figures.
That's true. Man, you're on fire right now.
What?
You know, based off of literally 100% of our old cases, it's the second guy we meet. So who's the second person we met?
Kevin.
Oh
or
my word.
Mr. Swizzle.
Bam.
That's who did it. Pixel
That's who I think
Pixie
did it.
Sticks. Where is he? He can't. He couldn't
I
have gone
agree, it was
far.
Mr. Swizzle.
He totally couldn't have gone far. He can barely walk. Bark.
Maybe that's just what he wants everybody to think.
What? Okay, we meet up with this Mr. Swizzle. How do we get him to walk normal? Do we push him down a flight of stairs and watch him recover?
We could throw a knife really fast at him. Look, like I said before, 100% of our old cases, it's always been the second person. If he says it's not, and we don't find evidence, we could just really just make it look like he did it. Because we know it's him, right?
And then we still get paid.
Yeah.
He definitely could be sitting inside of the giant action figure with the military grade chip in it and be
Oh my God.
controlling it. If he did that, he wouldn't even need a disguise, and therefore it wouldn't have worked when Ted tried to pull off his head.
Did you say that the elves defeated the orcs, or they just fought?
They actively fight.
Okay. I think I just made a connection
Like small soldiers. Like you have one side against the other side, and
Yeah.
they're at war with each other. You know, it makes a good story.
Yeah.
Oh, it actually is like small soldiers.
Josh is like,
Small soldiers have good guys and bad guys. I don't know what you mean. The bad guys wear military uniforms.
I say we open up all the orcs and then we just tell them what's going on, and then they're the good guys probably in this scenario.
I feel like I've got something right on the tip of my brain,
It's mustard.
but thank you.
As you guys are, just sitting here and debating between each other your theories, you do hear kind of like a slight scurrying in the walls. You hear it behind like the bathroom door.
I open the door.
Sure, you pull open the door and you step inside, and you can see as you enter in this space, you startle this small like figure of a rat as it kind of like tries to wiggle its way like behind like one of the pipes into like this hole in the wall.
Blimey, that's a big rat.
Hey,
Dooby-Doo runs in chasing, and as you follow the mouse up to where it runs into the wall, the sink, and then you look up into the mirror, and there's this figure in the mirror.
Is it me?
This large, like
Blimey.
orc chieftain in the mirror, like looking at you menacingly, like looking over, and it looks like it's about to reach out at you. You're gonna take one. Make a flight roll, actually.
And he says, I am Archer, emissary of the Gorgonites.
I'm surprised you hit that name too.
That was
really
pretty
good.
I must say. Flights, just met it.
You kind of like fall backwards scared, and you're like frightened for the moment. You kind of center yourself, and the image fades from the mirror, and you don't take any points of insanity. You don't take any points against your sanity as you're sitting there watching that figure. But then all of a sudden you hear this like and then gas begins to fill into this bathroom here with the two of you inside. And it begins the second it fills up so quickly it hits your lungs, you guys can't breathe, and you start to panic.
How many sandwiches do you guys have in there?
What is the default sanity?
You start at 0.
Okay.
If you hit 3 or more, you become insane.
So Thelma and I are just outside, right?
Yeah, you guys are outside. They kind of just ran right in. You guys have 1 minute to figure your way out of this bathroom.
I reach into my bag and I open up the snacks. Doobie!
I start sniffing around and I start running towards the snacks.
I throw one out the door.
Sure, you throw one out the door, you run towards the door, and you kind of pick up the snack. It feels good to have a snack in your hands, and you're at the door out of this the bathroom here.
I
You
grab
can't
the
breathe.
snack with my mouth and keep running.
Sure, you grab the snack, you go to push on the door, it doesn't open.
I shoulder charge it.
Sure, you run at it, you give it loud smack in the door. As you're trying to push it, it doesn't open at all.
On the other side, I'm going to go like, turn the knob.
Yeah, you
I
kind
grab
of.
onto the doorknob and I turn it.
As you do, it's like one of those bathroom doors with just the bar thing. There's no knob to twist or turn. It looks like you can only either push or pull it, really.
I push and pull really fast.
Yeah, you push, it doesn't open. You pull it, it opens right up, and all the gas kind of begins to escape out of the room here, and you guys stumble your way out.
Oh, man.
Able to breathe.
Blimey.
You have conquered the always pull door.
I can't read. Sorry, guys.
Okay.
There was a mirror that came to life in there.
Scooby-Doo was chasing a rat.
The rat turned into a really big orc-looking thing.
There's something weird going on with the mirrors in this place.
Well, maybe we should look at the mirror.
Sure, as you guys walk in and inspect the mirror that you saw now under no duress from suffocation, you see kind of the small etching and a maker's mark in the corner of the mirror. Very plainly, a small W in the etching.
Careful, it might reach out for you.
Just as I suspected, it appears as if Mr. Whistledrix is the one who made this mirror.
Is Mr. Whistledrix around?
I mean, that's not a huge surprise. It is his factory, right?
I think your bolo's on too tight.
I loosened my bolo.
Oh, well, thanks for catching that. Sorry.
Oh, wow.
Look like a
much
jackass, like
easier to
tight
breathe.
tie over here.
Wow, I feel so different. Oh yeah, this all makes sense.
Should we
His neck's just like purple.
should we go back to Mr. Whistledrix's office and see if that mirror also has the same maker's mark on it?
I still think we should open up all the orc toys and then talk to them a little bit.
So when I was sniffing around the crime scene, I saw something that looked like it was some sort of helmet down that you could probably get a good tug on. It could have been like a mask or something. Like
You saw it in the mirror.
no, what I saw in the mirror reminded me of what I saw at the crime scene. There was some orc helmet down there, and I'm pretty sure orcs and elves fight each other, but the problem is I don't really see any elves here, just gnomes, so I don't really know what the orcs would want to be fighting about. I think they really need to just chill out and have a sandwich.
Mr. E Group, let's review the clues that we have so far.
Number 1.
Military grade chips inside of giant toys that probably squished Kevin.
Number 2.
1, the large footprints leading away from the body.
Large footprints
action figure
that
footprints.
came from a
I
large
don't think
action
so,
figure with military
because-
grade
Does it
chips
say
inside.
Hasbro at the bottom of them?
Well, I don't think we took that close of a look at them.
I don't think we've looked at them at all.
Maybe we should go back there and take a look at them.
What if it says Andy?
Maybe maybe we should go look at clue number 1.
Okay, on the way to go look at clue number 1, let's discuss clue number 2, which is when Bill got to the warehouse this morning, he saw Kevin and Mr. W moving boxes around close by where the body was.
Kevin.
It's a warehouse. Everyone moves by. I mean, I'm pretty full, and I know that.
Kevin.
I love that as being the reason I'm so full right now, guys.
And clue
I'm
number
sticking
3,
with the metaphor.
which was it smells like oil and gear fluids and grease all around the blood.
Does it? I don't think.
So-
I don't think I ever said that.
Who here smells like gear fluid?
Okay, so we're walking back to the footprints, and we're going to take a closer look at those.
I swear there was
Sure.
a giant orc head there, though.
Well, if there was, I guess we'll see it when we get there, right? Let's go,
I
group.
sure hope not.
You guys make your way back to the packing shipping facility, the warehouse area. You see in the pile of like the next up shipment, soon to go, kind of ready to go area, you see those piles of boxes you saw before, the dried blood you saw before. And then you see, as you get closer and inspect, you do see that decorative head of like an orc chieftain atop one of the boxes.
I pick it up.
Sure, you give the head a nice squeeze, and as you pull, you begin to pull out the full figure out of this box of this huge orc chieftain. And as you do, it kind of and animates, and the eyes light up, and it begins to move and like sends like a swipe out around. And I'll need you to make a flight check.
I knew it!
For me.
I jump into Ted's arms.
I My arms aren't out. You can just land straight on the
hold
floor.
on.
I beat it by one.
You beat it?
Beat it.
As if you're holding me.
Yeah.
Great. So you don't take any points of sanity as you duck away from this attack. But now this large orc chieftain figure, the figure that you saw Scooby-Doo in the mirror in the bathroom, appearing over you guys, and he begins to like make his way in your direction with like his fists like ready to pound. What are you guys doing?
Everyone split up and keep the music.
It looked like we're
I'll go
running
in
really
this door.
fast, but
You
we're
guys go
all
in
in
this door,
place.
and then when we
Sure.
come out, we'll be in the opposite rooms.
And then someone from the same Hanna-Barbera cartoon could come out even though they're not in the episode.
Yeah.
And then they'll leave like Johnny Quest or something.
That's what we're doing.
That's
Okay,
such an
so
original and funny
you guys
idea.
run back towards towards the workspaces area, and you guys run into the first door. And as you do, everybody that ran into a door, roll me 2d6.
Can I try to grab the mirror off the wall and put it in front of the door as if the door is a mirror and not a door?
Make a flight roll for me.
Has everyone had that Scooby-Doo song stuck in their head this whole time?
Absolutely. You fail?
I failed.
I just keep hearing Blimey.
Okay, so your friends run into the workspaces and pick the nearest door and kind of run inside. And as you run into the bathroom, you yank the mirror off the wall, and you're kind of like holding it above you, but you can still see like the bottom half of your body. And then, did you guys all roll a d6?
Yeah.
You guys all run into the closest room, and then rolling your 2d6s, you appear in the room with the labeled number. So you got
Okay.
alternating rooms 1 through 12 on each side. What'd you guys roll?
I got 2 1s.
You got 2 1, so you're in a 2. So I'm gonna put you in the room with the 2 on the door.
I got a 1 and a 6.
You got a 7, so I'm gonna put you in the room with the 7.
4 and a 6.
And you got a 10. So those are your respective rooms. I'm just gonna make a little mark. You're in the bathroom. As you guys walk through this door and then open the next door, as you open it, you all kind of like stick your head out in the hallway. And although you entered in the same door, you're all peering out of different doors now. And you can see this monstrous orc kind of making his way down the hallway. But then he turns and walks right into the bathroom real quick. And then he sees like the legs of this figure sticking out underneath this mirror. And he just gives one huge smack at it. Scooby-Doo sending you like flying into the wall.
Oh.
And as you kind of fly off, he turns around and he makes his way back over towards the workspaces.
Blimey.
And I'll need you to take 1 point of sanity. And then he runs in and he picks the nearest door and he kind of just goes into it. And he appears in door number 4.
Close one.
And he's kind of picking his head out the door, and it kind of gives you a turn left and right down the hallway and sees you all. What do you do next?
Run to another door.
Are you guys just gonna?
Well, I'm not going to.
Okay. Why don't you tell me what door you're picking to run through out of the list 1 through 12, and then roll me your die.
So I'm exiting out at 7 and I'll go to 8.
Straight across. You open that door. You step in. Go ahead and roll me 2d6. What about the rest of you?
I'll go from 2 to 7.
Okay.
Just roll the same number as the one I was in. That's so weird.
You run out of door number 2 and you begin to run down the hallway a little bit and try that door. You go into door number 7. Go ahead and roll your dice.
I got an 8.
So you open it and then you appear across the hall from the door that you just entered. Dolph, you ran into the door right across from you, and then as you do it, you begin to come out, and then you see like the back reflection of your body as like it shuts the door, and you're like, whoa, what the heck? Like some kind of Inception thing. And then Thelma, as you pop through your door, you bump into the body of Dolph, and now both of you are like in this room, this number 8 room.
I'm gonna run down the hallway and I'm gonna whip out my taser.
Okay.
And I'm gonna tase this guy.
Yeah.
You charge at him. Go ahead and make a fight roll. And if you want to use your taser, you can add an extra die to that.
Yeah, I do. 5. Totally pass.
Okay,
2
so
5s.
you kind of run into him and you give it this really like just huge jolt right into its gut, and it begins to like whiz and whir, and like sparks begin to like fly off it. And
While it's doing that, can I notice that he's getting tased and then try to smash the mirror over him so the frame
Sure.
like he's stuck in the frame of the mirror.
As it's like
Perfect.
sitting there jolted, and you see some like as the sparks fly and some of the like gear fluid begin to bump out. Doobie-Doo runs over with the mirror and smashes it over the head, and then as you like encompass it with the frame of it, it begins to just like twitch and whir. After a brief moment, no longer begins to be moving on the floor at you guys.
This thing isn't moving anymore?
No, it is no longer moving.
Can I
Defeated.
go up to it?
Sure.
And I'm gonna...
Give it a tug.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a tug.
Sure. You pull it, and then you end up just yanking off like the head of this thing, and there's kind of like a stem of like mechanics and electrical wires and stuff. They kind of pull it out, and you just kind of decapitate this like large toy.
You gotta find the chip.
I start looking for the military grade chip.
Make an investigate roll.
I'm gonna walk up to Dolph
One fails.
as he holds the head of this toy. Put my hand in some of the motor oil
Sure.
that came off of the head when he decapitated it. And I'm going to say, Jinkies, Doobie Dude, take a whiff of this. Is this the same motor oil that you smelt near the crime scene?
I'll sniff it.
Familiar sense for sure.
Definitely.
Penn's oil.
Smell like motor oil bark.
It smells like
motor
motor
oil.
oil.
Motor bark. That's so funny.
I think we've solved this. This is a giant toy that probably squished our friend Kevin. That had the motor oil
he
that
has
was
the
at the
same
crime
motor oil.
scene. The only missing piece is where's this chip?
I can't find it. My hands are too pristine, and I don't want to get them dirty.
I'm gonna look at his footprints. Well,
Okay.
I'm gonna look at his feet.
Sure. Looking over, looking over the feet of this orc, it looks like there's some form of like makeshift crafted boot on this thing, and then you see some dried blood on the bottom of it.
It says Sid.
Blimey.
I want to look over this toy and see if I can find like a maker's mark or any branding on it.
Make an investigate roll.
That's a 6.
So you're kind of looking around, and you look at like the boot that's like covered in blood, and you kind of swipe some of it away, and then you see a familiar tiny W that you saw etched into the mirror in the bathroom, also on the bottom of this orc's boot.
It's Mr. Wazowski.
Mr. Whistledrix.
I think we found the culprit to this because there's clearly blood and oil and military
I
chips.
think we should. Who should we confront?
Wait a minute. Maybe if there's no chip, maybe it's being controlled by a remote control.
Didn't you hear someone moving around in a...
In a wall, but then it was a rat, and Doobie Dude over here chased him into the wall. Well, I heard some scurrying in the wall, chased after it, went to the bathroom. It was a rat that Doobie Dude tried to eat.
Maybe we should ask Kevin about Mr. Wazowski, where he's at.
Yeah, Kevin's a nice guy.
Kevin's a great man.
Yeah, I love Kevin.
He was super nice, that Kevin.
Yeah, very nice, Kevin.
We should find Kevin.
Kevin.
Is there anything else that you guys want to do in this factory overnight as you're looking for clues, or is your plan then to wait for workers to arrive the next day?
Oh, it's night.
Yeah, you guys got there at dusk, and then they all left for their end of the day shift, and you guys have been searching over the place.
didn't know that.
We could go wait in the Enigma wagon.
Feeling good about your theories and your work on this mystery so far. You guys retire to your Enigma wagon for the night to enjoy some sandwiches, some snacks, looking over the head of this orc thing.
Tugger
and then
too.
sun begins to rise as you guys have spent your time overnight in your van, your little stakeout van, that wagon, whatever, that you guys have done plenty of times in the past. And then as you see, as the sun begins to rise, workers begin to show up for the next workday. The first person to arrive is Kevin. And then shortly after, as he's kind of like opening the door, you see Mr. Whistledrix show up too.
There's our man.
Oh, I'm gonna slyly get out of the van and kind of very stealthily tiptoe behind them. And as I tiptoe, exactly, and I'm going to try to see where they go and see if I can hear what they're talking about.
You see, as Kevin and Mr. Whistledrix walk into the facility. Kevin walks in and begins to go over to some of like the projects that he was working on the day before, and begins to pull out supplies and set up his workspace and get ready. And then Mr. Whistledrix walks up to the riddle board, the riddle of the day, kind of sitting there staring at the chalkboard, pondering something. Maybe the next riddle for the day. But nothing out of the ordinary between the two of them as you're watching.
I'm gonna go inside.
Sure. You walk inside, and then as you get in through the door, Mr. Whistledrix turns around and goes, "Whoa, I didn't see you guys there."
We're ready for the new riddle.
Oh, hold on. Okay, let me just think of one on the spot.
I actually have a great question for you once you're done. What are those 12 rooms used for that you have in that hallway?
Well, that one's painting, that one's sanding, that one's sculpting, that one's drawing. Should I keep going? Name all 12?
Yeah.
Okay, how many did I name so far?
1.
That one's
4.
coloring, that one's also painting. It's weird, we have 2 painting rooms.
Is that the one where
That's
you
all
make
12.
the robots with the military grade chips that squish little gnomes named Kevin?
They,
Checks out.
Keith. It was Keith.
You see him like kind of get choked up for a minute.
This one right
The-
here, and
the,
I pulled
what
a
now?
head out of my dog pocket.
Oh, jeez, whoa, what is that?
That's exactly what we're here to find out, Mr. W.
If that's your real name,
I'm gonna write on the riddle board. Who actually killed Keith?
I'm gonna write Mr. Whistledrix, and then I'm gonna
Roll for
take
spelling.
my hand and I'm gonna erase the whole board like I got it right.
As you finish, as you go to begin erasing it, you see as there is a flurry of chalk dust, and then the question disappears, and left in its place is Mr. Whistledrix on the board. And he goes, "Well, dang it, I suppose."
Tase him, Ted. He's resisting.
I go up to him and I grab him by the hair
Not again.
and I pick him up off the ground
Oh boy.
and I start shaking.
Okay, hey, stop it. And then you see like pencils and things and like cogs and gears begin to like fall. And he goes, "Okay, put me down. That's enough."
wait, there's got to keep shaking. There must be chips in there.
I check on the back of his neck for a seam.
You're looking.
This can turn really dark really fast.
You don't see anything on him. You're kind of like sticking him in the skin. And he goes, "Ow, okay, stop it. I was wrong. It was me. Okay, fine. Leave me alone. Stop."
Why'd you do it?
Well, because Keith pressured me to sell because I'm getting old, and it was for a lot of money, and then. I don't know. I feel like he was backstabbing me somehow. I knew that he was part of the deal, and I don't know. Maybe if you guys searched his locker or something, you would have found anything important. But I guess that's not important now.
Where's
for
your
the lore.
disguise?
I don't have a disguise. What do you mean
I don't think
disguise?
he needs a disguise when he's got military grade giant toys squishing little gnome people.
I
The
pull out my
military will be
taser.
lucky to have my technology.
I pull out my taser.
Okay, now we can put that away.
Going to jail.
Oh,
Can't make a lot of toys there, just really shanks, and that's about it.
well, I'll find something to
You'll
do.
still
I
find
suppose.
plenty of people to tug on you, though.
Well, I'll miss not having that from here, I suppose. And we'll call it there for the night. How about that with the tug and joke?
Blimey, what a great story. My favorite part was Kevin. Kevin.
Thank you for tuning in to one of our themed one-shot games at the Lazy Bardcast. Our first 7 episodes are also themed one-shot games, and if you want more of these, look for them at the beginning of each season of our regular campaign. And if you'd like to vote for the theme of these one-shots, you can do so by becoming a patron on our Patreon page, patreon.com/thelazybardcast.
What's this Scooby-Doo?
Oh, hold on. I have a
Fred. Bread.
you guys gonna?
Ted or
Let's get
Frank.
this bread.
Yeah, well, have fun. I have to come up with something that's like Daphne.
Daphne. And you have to
Daphne. Be like David or something.
Be Fapney.
Fapney's pretty good.
Fapney.
It's a little adult, huh?
Any last attempts for this riddle?
What tastes better
I
than
already
it
answered
smells?
Ass.
Wow.
Wrong kind of toy factory.
Yeah, that's Mr. Drizzle.
Oh man, I love the attempt. I love the
You're gonna
idea.
have to bleep that for sure.
I'm
what
cutting all
tastes
that, but
Do we have a hint?
it's great.
I'm gonna
Blimey. I'm gonna go get this.
I'm gonna get this wizard
I'm an
cube.
Australian hick.
What a combo!
Blimey, mate.
Blimey.
Are you guys done?
I'm gonna get this here, mate. Why are y'all looking at me like
Blimey,
Unless
that's
he's a little
bulletproof.
bitch.
Sometimes I just
Sorry, you guys.
this is rated E for everyone? That's what E stands for.
yeah, all the tugging for sure didn't make this
And all
rated
the
E.
That is just
sandwiches
good,
and
friendly friends tugging each other.
friendly
We're just
tugging.
trying to
Getting
pull
really
people's
full
masks
on
It's
disguises
just
off.
a couple of friends giving each other a good tug job.
Nice tug.